All right, it's a beautiful Saturday here in the city of Columbus, the chief city of the state of Ohio. We are in the United States of America. Thank you so much if you are just joining us. Welcome to this first segment of broadcast on the station that seeks to serve you all the time. We are live from the United States of America, and it is a beautiful Saturday. We are broadcasting live from the United States of America. Once again, thank you so much. My name is Ernest Kanjo. Marcel Adig is producing this edition of the show from Waldshut in Germany. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to the program. All right, we'll be back with you shortly. Time for us to invite our listeners, and especially those who like to follow us on our respective social media handles. If you are one of those, then this show is for you and it is your time. So if you come on board, do well to share the video, especially on Facebook. Do that extensively so that we can have a wide outreach as much as possible. Once again, thank you so much and welcome on board. So, how's the working week? I assume it was a tedious one for some of you, but then if yours wasn't tedious, then good for you. If it was, then it's time for you to relax because it is weekend. Then get set for the start of yet another week. Right, back on Apex One Radio, we're trying to keep it quite funky, quite relaxed, entertaining, informative, and of course, educative. Welcome to this first segment of broadcast. And today we're going to have a special edition of Apex Movie Hall. And so the films keep emerging on the continent, new ones, of course, and the industry is expanding. In today's edition of Apex Movie Hall, we will be telling another beautiful African story. Two stories, of course. The first story will be When Love Happens, which is a Liberian movie that sees the light of day for the first time in the United States of America in 7 days. That will be in Minnesota when the movie gets premiered for the first time in the United States of America. Then Columbus, Ohio takes over a week after. That will be April the 5th this year when When Love Happens takes the center stage in that city. We have Emmanuel Paye right here with us in the studio, who is the main organizer of the Columbus premiere of When Love Happens. When Love Happens is a movie produced by KKL Mansa Studio Production and directed by Koto Davis. Story number two is Between Takes Magazine. Between Takes Magazine is a household name already. It's not new, but then it's covered a great distance as far as the covering and promotion of the film industry in Cameroon is concerned. We're lucky to have its publisher, Buminang Elvis Ngwansi, who will be live from Barcelona in Spain to talk about how the magazine has journeyed this far. He will be joining us on the show as well. So I have two gentlemen here who have contributed enormously to the growth of the African film industry, and they will be telling their stories for us this midday here in the city of Columbus, which should be 6:22 or 5:22 in Barcelona in Spain. Without much ado, let me welcome my guests on the platform, beginning from the one who is at large, Elvis Ngwansi Buminang, who now joins us from Barcelona. Elvis, welcome to the program. How are you doing today?
Thank you very much, Ernest. Thank you for having us.
Elvis, for some reason we cannot hear you. You may want to check your sound. So let's see how it goes. Can you hear me now?
I can get you very well.
Well, Elvis can hear us, but we cannot hear him. I don't know exactly what that is. Let's try again. Can you hear me now, Elvis?
I can get you.
Perfect.
Can
All
you
right.
get me?
I guess the issue was from our end. Thank you so much. How are you doing today?
Thank you for having us on the show today. I'm pleased to be here. We are doing fine. It's a wonderful but rainy weather in Barcelona this time around, but I'm good.
Mm.
Thank you so much.
Beautiful. So you're welcome to the program, Elvis. Just before I say hello to Emmanuel, if I ask you this straight question, Elvis, how is the Cameroonian film industry doing as we speak?
I would say it's doing good considering the way things are, considering the way things were before. There's a lot of evolution technically and even the level of production. There's a lot of evolution and things are being done, let's say, in a more professional way than they were done before. But of course, there is still much to be done.
Mhm. I know in your days, you are one of the pioneers of this new generation of filmmakers in Cameroon. I'm talking about the generation of the late 90s, the early 2000s. You saw how this industry evolved up to this stage. I do understand that back then, the biggest issue was okay, the quality of the films you guys were producing was kind of very approximative. Today, the digitalization evolution it's just remarkable. What would you say have been the changes as far as the quality of films your industry produces is all about?
I would say it's the knowledge.
Hmm.
It's the knowledge because it's not much more a matter of equipment they use. It's not much a matter of it being more digital now. It's
Hmm.
much the knowledge. People know more how to manage the equipment they have. People know more how to work on lights, know act better, know more how to edit better,
Hmm.
have a better organization, have a better understanding of the production process
Hmm.
now. So the knowledge has improved a lot as to what concerns film production, as to quality of movies.
Mm. Buminang Elvis is one of the frontline filmmakers in the Cameroonian film industry. Work so meticulously, especially in the past, to promote that industry. I know he's cut across all the film departments, been a cinematographer, he's been an actor, he's been a director, and what have you. Emmanuel, welcome to the program.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, Ernest.
How are you doing today, Emmanuel?
I'm doing great.
Mm. Emmanuel is part of the When Love Happens team, and he doubles as the organizer of that movie's premiere in Columbus, Ohio, which takes place on April the 5th. Emmanuel, similarly, I would ask this question. If I ask you, how is the Liberian film industry doing today? What would be your
First, I want to say to my brother from Barcelona, welcome again. It's a pleasure to meet
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you so much for what you do. And I openly say here on this platform that I am a Pan Africanist. Of course, we as an African, we no matter where we are, we have to tell from our perspective.
Mm,
So again, that's
Yeah.
that part because we have to tell our story. If we don't tell our story, nobody gonna tell it for us, or they're gonna mislead what we are or who we are.
mhm,
So yes, coming back to my country, Liberia, just as the brother said, we have been evolving.
mhm,
It have been an evolutionary period when it comes to artistic filmmaking and the production of film. So if you can see from the 90s to the early 2000, even mid 2000, you will see a lot of production from even Liberia, my country. The quality of film have evolved a lot over
mhm,
the years. So we are now in a transformational stage where we are now producing high level quality products
mhm.
for entertainment, and the storylines is more now becoming diverse that to the audience that we are serving now to connect with them more.
Beautiful. And so, as water continues to flow under the bridge, the African film movement it's on an unstoppable journey in terms of production, in terms of quality, in terms of quantity, and what have you. So, Between Takes magazine stands as one of the most influential media platforms dedicated to promoting and documenting the evolution of the Cameroonian film industry. With an unwavering commitment, the magazine has chronicled as many stories as the films that have graced the screens. thanks to its dynamic and relentless editorial team. And so today on the show, we have the publisher of Between Takes magazine, who is joining us to share the magazine's journey in championing the growth of the Cameroonian film industry over the years. And so he will be telling us just how this magazine is doing. Meantime, When Love Happens, undoubtedly one of the most talked about Liberian films in recent times. Even before its official release, it has already captured the heart of film enthusiasts. And so, as anticipation builds for its premiere in Minnesota next week and the Columbus, Ohio version on April the 5th, the team is joining us on radio today to share insights on their preparations. And so, Emmanuel Paye is here for that effect. Once again, gentlemen, you're welcome to the program. Let me go back to Elvis. So, Elvis, tell us how you're not transitioning per se because you still make films, but where did this interest of now writing about films in a magazine come from?
Well, it's for me. It's a way of staying connected to the industry, having knowledge of what is happening in the industry, and together with my team, mainly Carl Safinda, we saw there is a bridge between the industry and the people. People don't know actually what was happening in the industry. People were not informed about the happenings in the industry. People got information from bloggers who were more interested in the conflicts, in the fights, and in the buzz of what was happening, promoting negativity most of the time. So we thought we needed a platform that should talk about our industry, about the working people that are making films, how they make these films, talk about people who are doing things, and review our films. So we sought to bring Between Takes magazine to bridge this gap between the people and the movie makers. If you see our magazine, our editorial line, we don't talk about negativity. We don't talk about fights. There are fights. We don't talk about anything that would maybe tarnish the image of the industry. We are more interested in the promotion of the good things that people are doing, of the good films that people are making. That is what we want to showcase.
I will stay with you for the sake of our listeners and viewers who are coming across this magazine for the first time. Its title is really captivating. Takes. What does that mean, and where is that title coming from?
Well, I would say this idea came from Carl, Between Takes, and it's kind of globally cached and put everything in one form, everything we wanted to do. It's a monthly magazine, and so in between the month, what people have done is on a film set, people do things between the takes. When it's time to shoot, we do the takes, and when the take is over, there's something that happened between preparation and stuff, and we go to the next take. So in between, what happens? So in between 1 month of publication to the next month of publication, what happens in the industry? That's what we're trying to make people to be constantly aware and connected to the activities in the industry. So the title, the name of the magazine really brought everything together. It was a wonderful inspiration from Carl.
Beautiful. Let me turn to Emmanuel. Emmanuel, a magazine that is exclusively focused on film making. What do you think about that?
Look, like I said earlier, we have to write our own stories. We have to, let's say, promote our own craft. As you can see, that's one of our permanent sister on the cover. Beautiful as she looks. And it's very, very captivating. Like I said again, this magazine have been have been opportune to actually read part of it. Carista always share with me when they do the publications. You always share with me, and I've been going through some of the publications. Right, it's well deep oriented. It's well organized. You know, and if you go through the reading process, you really get to connect with the actual story that's being told.
That's beautiful. I will stay with you, Emmanuel. I do understand that Carter Davis has done several other movies previously, but for some reason, love when love happens makes a lot of noise. So tell us about it.
Yeah, again, like we said earlier, we pretty much. I want to first of all say thanks to Carter Davis, a film writer,
Hmm.
a producer, director, and actress. She is one of the most prominent producer and movie producer from Liberia and
Hmm.
even Africa as a whole because she have won the Nigerian Film Award. She have acted in several different movies, including movies in like in America here called Fatima
Hmm.
that were produced by a Hollywood producer. So she knows her craft. She an elegant, professional, let's say, sister who believe in a dream,
Hmm.
right? So if you hear this movie, when love happens, the story, this just the name will tell you a lot in the process. However, she have been involved with a lot of different film, but most of the time it have been premiered in Africa. It have never been premiered here.
Hmm.
So this is the reason why this particular movie will be the first major Liberian film that's going to be premiered within the US,
Hmm.
in the USA. Of course, not just that, they're going to be the first major Liberian movie premiere that will take place in the actual theater.
Okay.
So again, so that's the reason why this is different.
Hmm.
That's the reason why this project is different. So as you can see, we are in we're currently in 3 different states. We're looking at 4 different other states that already approached us about this project, and I was so glad to be part of this process, and I'm glad to be part of the promotion as a promotion manager, and also partnership within the KK Mensa Award. So again, this is going to be big.
Hmm. I'm talking about the movies premiere in the United States of America. There will be Minnesota, then Columbus, Ohio. Then the team will move to North Carolina,
North
right?
Carolina, yeah.
To for yet another USA premiere. If you're just joining us, this is Apex Movie Hall on Apex One Radio, the edition of Saturday, the 22nd of March 2025. We are broadcasting from the United States of America. So let me go back to Barcelona with Elvis. So, Elvis, you're confirming that Between Takes is a monthly magazine, correct?
Correct.
Okay. So, tell us about the magazine's target. Who has to read this magazine? Is it just people who make films or people who are interested in films or just everybody?
Well, the magazine is not just for filmmakers, it's for everybody. It's for Africans, African diaspora, everybody who is interested and want to know more about the Cameroonian film industry. It's for absolutely everybody. That's why when we share it massively.
Mhm.
Everybody who can have readers even from China will be very happy.
Mhm.
So to know more and more people are interested and have knowledge about filmmaking in Cameroon.
So if I do understand you well, this magazine is basically online, so we can read the pages of the magazine online, correct?
Correct. The magazine is online. At first, we started distributing through WhatsApp. We sent copies of the magazine, but it was very tedious. So now we do it online. We create a link which we share. When we announce the edition on our Facebook page, we share the link so everybody can just click on the link. You can download the copy if you want, or you can just read and drop a comment if you wish. You can share also.
How many pages of it do you publish every month?
How many pages? A copy entails about 32 pages.
32 pages.
Which, yeah, which is divided in various segments, various sections.
Hmm. And so have articles and pictures, correct?
Yeah,
Mm.
various articles. Mainly, we definitely have our guest of the month, who is one film person who has done something either from the past, one of our elders in the industry, to
Mhm.
tell us about what used to happen back then, their experiences in filmmaking, or somebody who has done something at the moment which is very interesting. I would like to bring them on in on the magazine to talk about it. And after the guests, we have, of course, our film talks, which it used to be an article which I used to publish on my Facebook profile, and we decided to bring it on film. Talk about things that may be or can be profitable to filmmakers, things that are actually happen, and we think, and I try to put in my own idea and contribution of how we may go around them. We also talk about behind the scenes, talk about productions that happen. We want people to know how we make films. It's not just seeing the films, We think people may be more interested in knowing how this film was made, how this action in this movie, this particular action, how did the producers, how did the filmmakers succeed in coming up with this. Filmmaking process is very tedious, so also want the people to understand, and maybe they will enjoy and understand and see the film from a different light. And of course, we have a focus, which every edition we focus on one individual producer, actress, makeup artist, editor, who is doing something. Generally, they are upcomings. So we like to throw light on them, bring this person out. This person is an editor, he's doing good and stuff. He's a director of photography. We talk about them, we bring them out there for people to know them, maybe contact them and work with them. And we have our reviews, which are mainly concentrated on talking about the good things that happen in the films that we review. Every movie has good aspects. No matter how bad they are, they have good aspects. You will not believe, but some of our movies have very, very wonderful technicalities. When I watch them, I talk about them. We do a review upon that. We bring out the beautiful things that people might not, when you normal person you watch, maybe you will not see, but when you read the review and watch the movie again, you will see it from a different light. So those are things we like to highlight. So those are the different segments in which the magazine is divided.
A comprehensive breakdown of Between Takes magazine there by the publisher himself, Elvis Buminang, who is joining us live from Barcelona in Spain in this edition of Apex Movie Hall on Apex One Radio. Back to you, Emmanuel. Can you present the cast of When Love Happens?
Yes. First, I want to say again, this movie is special for so many reasons. This is one of the first time you have seen an all-star Liberian cast in one movie. So as you can see on the cover, there's that beautiful, gorgeous lady right there called Miss Manet. She is one of the most prominent and highly profiled Liberian traditional artists. She's very, very good at her job. She's super nice and popular with everybody in the community. Liberia as a country hails her. So again, having her on this project, it was like a winning a lottery, You can see also the other guy next to her is Musa Salif. Musa Salif is a young and prominent like actor by profession. He's a professional actor. So he have acted in several movies with Carter Davis, several movies. And then next to her is one of the biggest gospel artists in Thelma Say. She's a prominent, again, like I say, it's an all-star. So I'm really, really excited to be part of this project, actually. Thelma hails, she lives in Minnesota right now, but she's one of the biggest gospel artists in the entire Liberian community. So and then she leaving her comfort zone, doing music, and then stepping in the bigger platform on camera. So it was a very, very rewarding thing to see. It just as Manet did the same thing. That's this our first time having the actual feature film. So it make a difference. And then the other guy over there, that's the superstar right there. He's a model. He's a professional. He's a film producer by profession. He actually have a degree in film and business and marketing, everything. So he's like the top notch guy over there, doing in his project. So he's like the star. However, he's so humble that he made everyone comfortable on the set.
Mhm.
If you can see the other flyer, like you said, in front of flyer is a character of Cotto Davis.
Mhm.
A character of Cotto Davis that she created in her mind because of her genius, that character is just about that actually Cotto playing a character in the movie. And she is also the director, the producer and writer of this
Mhm.
film. And Cotto, like I said again, she is an multiple award winning actress. She like last couple years ago we did a Liberian Film Award. She won 7 different awards
Mm.
from one of the first female director actually. So coming from the West Africa and even with that particular setting. So she, I mean, Eddie Watson, she had made some movie with him too. The guy from the producer, I mean, the actor from Nigeria, Liberian actor from Nigeria. So that night she stole the show. So I mean, just she just ate, in her mind. Like I said again, then you had two other people who joined them, to like introduce them to the platform. She brought in two other characters, just to put them out there with different talent. Because what she does is that every time she make a movie, she exploit, and create a new talent,
Mhm.
right? The other talents are also permanent there. So they creating more opportunity for different people and having different kind of like character on the set.
Mhm.
And that's what made the movie unique because it's an all star cast, and I mean from musical background, professional actor, producer, director, and then they're all in one film. So I mean it's a great opportunity.
Cotto Davis's When Love Happens sees the light of day for the first time in the United States of America next Saturday, March the 29th in Minnesota. And that event will take place at the Plymouth Grand 15 Cinema,
Yep.
3400 Vicksburg, Ellen, number 13, Plymouth, Minnesota. 554 55447. So that's the address of the event venue. It's a KKL Mansa Studio production, and the Ohio version of the USA premiere will take place a week later here
Yes.
in Columbus. And we're speaking with the main organizer of that premiere, Emmanuel Paye, who's right here live in the studio. Where was this film shot, Emmanuel?
That's another good question. So I live in a region in Iowa for about 7 years. To be specific, in Des Moines, Iowa. So we did like piece of Iowa and piece of Minnesota. So it was shot in two different states.
Okay.
So this it was really shot like in Iowa and Minnesota. So that's what make it unique because the scene of those locations
Mhm.
is breathtaking. They are breathtaking. So and then having to shoot the first major film like this from Liberia on an American soil,
Mhm.
we kind of like did a contemporary like African production.
Mhm.
However, we merged it with the Western let's say persona. So anybody American, anybody, if you ever been in love before,
Mm.
if you ever been in love before, the complexity of love and the different navigations, the emotions that get involved in that process. This is what the story connect with.
Mhm. Wow, that's beautiful. We are live on radio. We'll be back with Emmanuel. Let's go back to Barcelona. Elvis, welcome back.
Thank you so much.
Right. So I would like you to, just like Emmanuel did with the editorial team of Between Takes, because you guys do a fabulous job, but apparently not everybody knows who does this beautiful work backstage.
Well, it's a quite very, very small team.
Okay.
It's just myself, the publisher, and
Mhm.
Carl Sapinda, the editor in chief, and
Mhm.
Jean-Marie Pessé, very wonderful, wonderful designer. In the
Mhm.
past, we used to have a contributor, Patience Laka, who is also from Barcelona. She used to contribute a very wonderful article, but due to time constraints, she could not continue, so the segment was dropped.
Mhm.
So you can see just that little team, the workload is quite massive to come up each month with all the articles we have to present for the magazine.
And I'd like to understand how this very tiny team is able to do all of this. Tell us how you come up with the ideas, the thoughts for the next edition. Who has to feature? What topic you have to discuss? And things like that. So tell us how it happens backstage.
Well, for the main guests, for example, we try to create a balance between the old school, as people, as there was a time they say the new school and the old school conflict. So we try to create a balance between the old school, the new school, the diaspora, and also the francophones, because let's note it's not just between takes, it's not just Anglophone filmmakers, it's also Francophone filmmakers. We try to create a balance. And we also try to work with the pace of the industry to know who is doing what at that particular moment. Something may be very interesting, and we bring the person up. Our last edition, we had Mr. Tanguy Sufor, who is an icon in the movie industry, who is, I would say, is an old school, to come and share with us his experiences. And in another times, I remember during the Écran Noir when Sylvia Bright won her Écran Noir trophy, we brought her up to share the experience. So that is how we try to bring a balance, and also to invite our Francophone filmmakers. We have had people like Lucy Member Boss on. We have had other Francophones who have featured on the magazine. I can't remember all for now. There are so many editions. And for other articles, maybe behind the scene, we look at what productions are going on now, and we try to contact them to see if we can do behind the scene about their films, what they are doing, and if it's interesting. We look around the industry and see who is doing what, especially the upcoming actors, technicians, producers, and all that, and try to lay a focus on them. We have had Kore with some makeup artists. We have had our own. We have had our last edition, I forgot what we had. We have had DOPs. We have had I can't remember all the names, but we have lots and lots of them. We had this guy who is now a very powerful and wonderful actor and wonderful filmmaker, the director for The Planters Plantation. Back then, we had him focus on the magazine. We saw he was doing great, and we caught him up. We had him on the magazine, and see the light. Not the light. It's not because of us, but I think we, in a way, contributed to bring him up to the limelight. So that is how we try to look around, to stay apace with the industry, know what's happening, who is doing what, see who are the upcomers, and try to bring them up. We see that you're doing something interesting, we bring you up, try to throw the light on your activities.
And so when you have identified the people who are going to feature in the next edition and contacted them, what goes on thereafter? How do you conduct the interviews? Is it like you script out questions sent to them, and then they write the answers and email them back to you, or you talk on the phone? How does it go?
Oh yes, definitely. That's what we do now. At first, we used to talk on the phone, and it was very tedious to talk on phone, transcribe, and stuff like that. It was so tedious. So we decided to be scripting out the questions for the guests. We send quite ahead of time so that they'll have time to go through the questions. They are not just short questions. They are like 20 questions, 22 questions for each guest. So we have ample time for them to reply and send the questions back to us. We read, proofread, go through, and if there's any addition, anything we need to clarify, we get back to them before we send them for mounting. We do same also with the guy, the person we'll be focusing on. We do same with the production, which we'll be doing behind the scenes for. We send questions to some key cast members and key crew members to see how the production went, the difficulties they faced, how they could resolve these difficulties, how long did they shoot, and all that. And when we get these questions, when we get the reply, we mount the article, we write out the article, and we send it back to them to read, to make sure it's accurate, to the producers or the directors especially, to make sure it's accurate, and we get them back and we send them for mounting to our graphic designers to begin work.
Have there been times when you send some questions to some of uh, your guests and they hesitated providing you with answers or just ask you to maybe ignore that particular question? They didn't want to say anything about it. Have you had such experiences?
Oh yes, definitely. Those are some of the difficulties we are facing. Some guests we have approached have not even answered us till today. We've sent questions, but we have not received answers to today. So imagine we need to think very fast and get some other person. Some productions, they send replies late, they send half replies. We need to work with the material they give us. Some send voice notes, which will be difficult to transcribe voice notes. Others send disappearing messages, which you don't read on time, it disappears and you won't have an article. So those are some of the things we are really facing. There are productions for which we don't even mind, we don't even write again because the producers or the director are having this or that conflict in the industry. Each time we talk about them, it's like a problem. So we prefer to stay away and apart from that conflict and look at the good things that are happening.
Just before I go to Emmanuel, Elvis, you just mentioned conflicts, and you would agree with me that this is exactly what people love to read when it comes to writing about celebrities. Earlier, you told me that you must go for the positives. Don't you think you are taking a risk by not focusing more on the negatives, that is the Congo Sa, in a context where that's what people love to read?
Yeah, it's a big risk, and it's a risk we have accepted to take. It's a risk we have decided to implement in our editorial line. Everybody is talking about Kongusa, about fight, and everybody wants negativity is going towards that. We don't want to do that. That is not the industry we want to portray.
Okay.
That is what it happens, but that is not the industry we want to portray. We want us, an industry that will be above these conflicts, that will work and people will see the work that people are putting in, because actually there are people working who are not involved in this conflict. So that is what we want to show. Everybody, the blogs, that's what the bloggers used to do. And we saw that this was not a good image. This was not a good transcription of the industry. That is why Between Takes magazine came up.
Beautiful. We'll come back to you, Elvis Buminang. Just to remind you that he's the publisher of Between Takes magazine that covers and promotes the Cameroonian film industry. Emmanuel, what is the relationship between the Liberian media and that country's film industry?
A very great question. It's very cordial.
Okay.
It's very cordial. What have happened is that, like the brother Rifle said, there are some magazine, like his magazine, they have not been able to transcend across the spectacle of the Liberian entertainment because of the writing. We have, as the social media evolved and expand, people in our communities more gravitate more towards negativity, right, or drama kind of thing. So even to have a follower on social media, once you exert gossip, negativity on your platform continuously, you're going to see everybody turning into your directions. So, however, and I want to commend you for that, for sticking to a cause, to a belief, because your magazine will be where somebody can go to get reliable description of a particular person, a reliable knowledge on a particular project, be it a film, entertainment. So, and I will encourage you to keep doing that, because at the end of the day, we all have different sources, right? That we want to get our information from. So yes, the film industry and the media in Liberia, they are very cordial. Like I said again, now as at the moment, even this project is being promoted in Liberia. When I'm in Liberia, it's being let's say promoted there. So and I believe even for mom, like me, I'm also in the media fields also, and I'm also in the promotional aspect. So one thing I can tell anybody is that if you choose a principle to live by, or to let's say achieve, or express yourself, stick with that, because again, this this is a credibility issue, right? If I want to go
Yeah.
to a drama, you can go get a drama somewhere else. If you want to, if you
Mhm.
want something that more educational, more academics, right? You go, you know where to go, right? So again, and I don't want to, you can send it as a motivation to my brother over there, and that's why I tell a lot of lot of media personnel in Liberia, because the young, especially aspiring journalists or whatever it is, because
Mhm.
you just have to find that fine line. Yes, you might not be popular today, you might not have, because you're not putting out drama, you're not putting out gossip, you're not putting out, all the chaos, right? But if you stick to your profession in that, in the positive direction, it always pay off in both ways.
Mm. Beautiful. Emmanuel, one would imagine that for a much talked about and much awaited Liberian film like When Love Happens, it should first see the light of day back home. Why are you starting with the premieres here in the United States?
Okay, great questions. First of all, we have had four different premiere in Liberia. That was movie produced in Liberia.
Okay.
So, speaking from a logistical point of view, and also uh, with the plan to expose the platform or the production, the KK Mensa production here in America, right?
Mhm.
So we are now bringing in different audience,
Okay.
because the premiere in Liberia, not everyone in the diaspora, is opportune to really be part of that process. So we are not, and most of the time, even the people from the diaspora are the one that actually support us the most. Sometimes when it comes to the financial aspect,
Mhm.
so bringing it to them so that they can experience it. That's a strategic move
Mhm.
to really create awareness about the Liberian film industry, within the diaspora community.
Mhm.
That we're not just doing it locally now in Liberia.
Mhm.
We are not coming to your doorsteps. As you can see, the mayor for Brooklyn Park, he have endorsed and confirmed that
Mhm.
he's going to be there in Minnesota on the 29th,
Mhm.
and he's one of the prominent figure in that community. He's very popular. He's very relatable.
Mhm.
So we're now bringing all these different professionals who are within the diaspora to be part of the expression, the artistic expression of this company, and also as Liberian to see the talent, that have been discovered in
Mhm.
this on this project. So I think after this one night, the awareness now going to go, in every aspect of this country,
Mhm.
to other Liberians who will not get the full attention
Mhm.
that Liberian movie is alive.
Mhm. And I guess Minnesota, because it is in a stronghold in the United States, correct?
Yes, that's Minnesota is one of the largest gathering of Liberian in the U.S.
Mhm.
So it is not even it's a no-brainer pretty much.
Mhm.
Where do you want to first start this particular project where you have over 1 million Liberians living in a community?
Mhm.
So this is the reason why we started in that more like a hometown kind of
Mhm.
thing from the diaspora.
Mhm.
So Minnesota is also hometown. You can see North Carolina, you see other places.
Mhm.
That's why we are making this move in a strategic way to make sure that a majority of our community members, experience this craft, this talent that they have.
Mhm. And I know this movie has been the talk for the past couple of weeks. You've been going live on Facebook to talk about it. Let me know how the Liberian community abroad has received this project, even before it sees the light of day. How receptive have Liberians been so far?
For the most part, it have been very positive,
Hmm.
and it have been positive, and we are really encouraged to see our people now are like, Nigeria is the largest is the Hollywood of Africa, right?
Hmm.
So, but now the quality of material, like even my brother over there from Cameroon, we all doing a great job, but Nigeria had the numbers, right? So for us who are in the different little countries, I would say that part, right,
Hmm.
to transcend to that platform is always a little struggle.
Hmm.
So the storyline here is very unique in a way where it connects with everybody. It connects with our Nigerian, our entire immigrant and African community. Even if you, like I said again, the storyline with love happen when love happens,
Hmm.
you can find yourself or know somebody within that storyline, right?
Mhm.
So our community, they are waking, they are embracing it, but we're not just focusing on our community. You already know me, Ernest.
Mhm.
I partner with a lot of different community here. You and I, we've been in this on this journey for a very long time. So my Cameroonian people, they are step up big time.
Mm.
You know, my brothers and sisters from Cameroon have step up big time. Shout out to Carista, shout out to my brother Rex, you know, one of the biggest promoter in Columbus, Ohio here. And shout out to the entire Cameroonian community here. Shout out to the Nigerian community. Shout out to the Ghanaian community. You know, the Senegalese communities are also coming on board. The
Mhm.
entire African community, they are all awakened by this project. Even in Minnesota, like I said again, we are now not just stopping within the little cycle. Now we are going transcending and going across, you know, countries, you know, like, you know, lines to connect with people. So again, we are really encouraged.
Beautiful. Emmanuel Paye is part of the When Love Happens team and also the main organizer for the Columbus, Ohio premiere, which takes place on April the 5th this year. Elvis, I know that every newsroom works with timelines, deadlines, and what of you. So, do you have a particular date in the month when all the articles for the next edition have to be ready to go?
Well, our publishing is at first we were doing first week, but now we're doing the last week of the month to
Okay.
publish the magazine. So this means before the last week of the month, all articles must be ready. So we package everything within 3 weeks, and so I'll give ample time also to the graphic designer to work on them and bring out the magazine. By the last week of the month, we are ready to release.
So, who tells you how ready you are to publish? Do you have does the editorial team sit back, look at what has been packaged, endorses it before it is published, or do you also have people who come maybe from outside with fresh minds to
Fresh month.
check the quality of
So
it?
that's a beautiful idea, but for now we don't have that. We don't have that kind of collaboration. Who does that now is the editor in chief. He goes through every article, every sentence, every word, and make sure it is well packaged, it is well written, and there are no errors before we send them to the graphic designer.
Mhm. This magazine is as old as 4 years plus, I guess. 2021.
2021, I think so, because we are at 48 editions already.
So, how has the public reacted to it? What are people telling you about this magazine?
Well, people are very enthusiastic about it. We must say it has been a good reception. People are enthusiastic about it. Each time we make a post, people share, people like and stuff. It's very, very encouraging, but definitely there is room to grow. We like more reaction from Cameroonians. We like more enthusiasm from Cameroonians and filmmakers especially. I think only filmmakers can also contribute to create this enthusiasm by sharing massively on their various platforms, you know, where we have, for example, a guest who can have a large following. Our expectation also is that this person can also bring their following to discover Between Takes magazine and to share. And in that way, the information reaches a wider audience. But so far, so good.
I know it would rather be better for the public to make their judgment, but from time to time we always like to know from the makers of everything how they feel about what they made. 48 editions down the road, if I ask you to pick just one that you think would have attracted a lot of attention, or that you would have felt within you that this was a job well done, which one would you pick? Hoping that it's not going to create some animosity.
No, of course. I think the Woman of the Year last year really was a great edition. And I also think our last edition, our number 48, with the film icon, Mr. Sufo, really did more than we expected, you know. The reactions to it was more than we expected. We did not expect such a reaction to it coming from a filmmaker. We thought many people did not know, but we were surprised because he's known in many spheres as a teacher, as a theater actor, and stuff. So all those came into play, and it was wonderful. So,
what are some of the things? What are
Yeah.
some of the things people have told you to either change or to bring in or not to publish?
Okay, one thing somebody commented on one of our posts, he said we should do critique. We should do film critique.
Okay.
So, but what we are doing is review.
Okay.
We don't think we are really ready for film critique, because when you do a film critique, you bring out without judgment, without friendship and stuff, all the rubbish that has happened in that film, and people will rather concentrate on that,
right,
than seeing all the good that this filmmaker put into that film. People will not see the effort, they will not see the heart that the filmmaker has put into working this movie. They will rather concentrate on the bad things that happen on the movie, because in all, there are always bad films, there are always things that did not work well in all the films that we review, but we choose to concentrate on the good parts so that people should go see, and should also other filmmakers may learn also from that. So it's something we absolutely do not want to do. We don't think we are also ready for that. Cameroonians are not really ready to have critique on their movies.
We have seen entertainment magazine projects that have been unable to stand the test of time, and hardly did they have 5 editions done, they went crashing. But you are at the 48th edition, which means that you've been consistent, and congratulations on that. But again, that gives the impression that everything is smooth, the processes are there, and so on. Am I correct? Otherwise, do you have any challenges?
Challenges, there are many challenges. Of course, we have stood the test of time doing 48 editions. You can imagine the workload we have to do per edition and multiply it by 48. We have times where we are approaching deadline to send the material to our graphic designer, and everything is not set up, and it's the graphic designer will be behind us. What's happening, because this person or that person in the production crew has not replied for behind the scene questions we sent. We cannot write the article conveniently, because as I said earlier, some guests definitely just ignore us. We send them questions, they don't even answer today. We have guests we still have our questions and our questionnaire, and they have not answered. We have guests we would love to have on the show. We have contacted them, I beg your pardon, but they are giving us a deaf ear. So, but we move on. We don't stay on what has not happened. We rather look at what can be done. We use the material we have to make the best of it, to write the articles as best as we can write them in a way that should give light, that should engage people on the article itself and on the project or film or review which we are writing. And that's how we have been keeping on.
We're gradually but steadily moving to the end of this edition of Apex Movie Hall on Apex One Radio. We have 2 gentlemen whose contribution to the growth of the African film industry have been enormous. Buminang Elvis is the publisher of Between Takes magazine. He's live from Barcelona in Spain. And Emmanuel Paye is part of the very amazing team of When Love Happens, doubling as the main organizer of the Columbus premiere of that movie. So, Emmanuel, offstage, you told me that you'll be flying to Minnesota for the first premiere. That takes place next Saturday. I know you've been talking with your people there. Are they ready for Saturday?
They are more than ready. So, like I said again, so to start in Minnesota is gonna be like a test run. However, if you can see, all the tickets are going fast. People are buying just VIP now, and is highly encouraging. to my family and friends in Minnesota.
Mhm.
I want to say, you know how to contact me. You can get your ticket. We are coming. We are coming in full team. You know, it's gonna be a Jam Pike Theater.
Mhm.
So again, look, I'm excited about this project,
Mhm.
and this is what we need, you know, to express ourselves, right, in an artistic way. And I want to say shout out to KD, as her name is Carter Davis. You know, this lady, she is a genius. You know, she is a genius. She is highly creative.
Mhm.
And even my brother out there, I want to say shout out to you too. I know we're still gonna close out here, but the goal now is, you know, Carissa and I've been talking also in the behind the scene, that the
Mhm.
goal is we now have to connect, right, and merge our stories and tell our stories in uniform, in a unified way, right. Sometimes we see different experiences as immigrant here from different part of the continent. You know,
Mhm.
it's always a good thing to connect with each other, to share ideas, you know, to have conversations, you know, to get different perspectives. So
Mm.
and I look forward to talking to you behind the scene after here, and we can connect again and talk about other stuff. So
Sure. I'll stay with you, Emmanuel, to throw more light on the Columbus premiere, which will happen soon after the Minnesota version. So, Columbus is on April the 5th this
yes.
year. Now, I know you've been to the venue a couple of times. How set is the Phoenix Lennox 24 Theater?
And as I must say, you know, not to what you've been there, you've seen the environment, and we've got enough parking space.
Mhm.
Parking spaces. We have enough like space within the theater. The theater is huge. You know, I mean the venue is you can have you can ask for anything better than that. You
Mhm.
know, and you know the big screen. You know the IMAX screen is one of the best screen in the whole freaking industry, in the entertainment industry. So I'm highly encouraged about our locations,
Mhm.
and also like just to see our people, and not just gonna be going there to go just watch a movie. We are bringing to you an experience, right? It is an experience from the red carpet, you know, to the VIP lounge or to the theater. You're gonna have media crew, entertainers out there, you know, local entertainers,
Mhm.
different film producers, you know, also gonna be there.
Mhm.
Our permanent community members, community leaders, they're all gonna be there. So before even we go forward, I want to say shout out to our sponsors also on
Mhm.
this project. I want to say, you know, Alpha Tonga, who one of the permanent the president for the library community here in Columbus, Ohio. I want to shout out to you.
Mhm.
The chairman of the board, who is Mr. Lafayette Hammond. I want to say shout out to you also. And then we have one of the permanent community member also in Ralph Perry. You know, Ralph Perry mother is an ex-president for Liberia, right? So he's the business president of the community, also going to be there.
Mhm.
There are a lot of big names that are going to be in the house. So again, I'm like I said, Ernest, I'm really encouraged.
So it happens on April the 5th this year at the Phoenix Lennox 24 Theater, situated at 777 Kenya Road, Columbus, Ohio 43212. Red carpet begins at exactly 5 p.m. Then the show proper kicks off at 7 p.m. prompt. Tickets have been on sale for the past couple of weeks. Regular tickets $50, VIP $100. Then you can Zelle through 614 804 7909 614-804-7909. Looks like we have an interested viewer and listener who has been watching the program since it started, and he wants to contribute, maybe asking a question to our guests
Yes.
or just contributing. Let's find out who that is. Welcome to the program.
Oh, thank you very much, Ernest. For I'm so pleased listening to what Africans are doing. I'm so encouraged.
Great. Welcome to the program. That's Mola Njuma Steve, calling from Columbus, Ohio. Right. So you've been listening to the program since it started. Comments, remarks, questions?
Yeah, the remark that I want to give, the first remark I want to give, it's at least I'm so grateful for the level of creativity from from some of us from Africa.
Mhm.
How we are thinking of a way to impact the world through our works. I want to say congratulations to Mr. Hongwansin and my brother from Liberia. So I think it's a great move for me. I'm so grateful about it. Yeah, I just have an additional contribution I want to make
Mhm.
that I think will also help to make them to work more and to increase their visibility so far as the world is concerned.
Mhm.
Uh, Mr. Elvis, you talk about 48th edition of your magazine. Yeah, I think it's nice that we have like a criteria on some of those um, movie stars, those who are trying to project their work. I think it's high time we have like a criteria or a yardstick such that we should not pick up anybody or tells us a story about himself, then we make the person feel that he's doing something, you know. So I think if you could have like a criteria and make it in a way that will be top notch, of course, out of Cameroon, we are dealing with the world. And dealing with the world is not a half page biography or one movie or just a contribution that could help in any way. So I'm thinking if you guys could go out of the box, try to expand your bandwidth on some of the criteria that somebody can be eligible to be placed in your magazine. One, two, some of their compiled work that they have done that will say, okay, this person is an authority in this domain or in this niche in the film industry. They have been acting film relative to this. You have had one, two, three, four, five episode on this domain. That will make you create your magazine to be at a certain height, or at least to like it's not any kind of person that is in your magazine. So that also really help you guys much. Yeah. So that's one contribution I want to give so far as the magazine is concerned. Yeah. Then about the film industry, I want to say that we should be aware of our environment, please. Africans always like to do things like Africans. We know in US we have a lot of communities. We have the Hispanic community, we have the African American community, we have the Caucasian community, and we even have some of us immigrants from Africa. So if we are doing anything now to do with entertainment, if we want to impact, of course, let's have their vision. Let's not do things that will be consumed by us. There was the impact. So let's try to involve each of them in one way or the other because some of the flyers, the posters that I've seen have carried some of our local uh, from Africa. So I think if we want to have impact or if we want to do something that it will be like a legacy, let's try to integrate these communities in one way or the other. Yeah, but the idea of starting what you guys are doing, it's a great thing, but always struggle to involve be sensitive of your environment because we cannot be doing things in the US or maybe in Europe, but still consumed by the Africans. So what's our impact now in our environment? Can we be called for a show? Can we be called for something? So let's be sensitive with our environment and try to update to let's try to step up our pace and make sure that it's in line with the entertainment industries around us. Not like the same, but let's have that broader vision or picture to make sure that even as we're Africans, we should impact even his US or his Europe. Thank you very
Okay.
much.
All right. Thank you so much for your opinion, Molanjuma. Thank you so much for contributing on the show. Thank you so much. unless I don't know if Elvis wants to react to that, or Emmanuel. I guess our listener was talking about expanding the horizon and getting across maybe other communities, and not just focusing on our respective communities, or on Africa. Okay. Any reaction to that, or we
Yes,
move on? Okay.
quickly.
Okay.
Let me just say this to the brother. It's always good to have different perspective on everything. This is what make us a better community, a better people. However, like he said earlier, so when it comes to filmmaking, right, or film production, depending on what stories you are trying to write, what message you are trying to put out there, you have to make sure that it fit within the category of your expressions or your artistic expression or what you're going to represent. So Denzel Washington put it very well, right? He did an interview about a movie that he was in. It was a black film, and then he was questioned about why did he have any other like race taking the lead in that film. So who can tell our story better than us, right? Yes, you can have a diverse group of people, diverse audience, but at the end of the day, when it comes to writing a story about Cameroon, I think the best people to talk about is a Cameroonian, right? So you cannot go and have somebody else to come and tell your story. They will tell your story from their perspective. So to make your story authentic and relatable, it had to be you, right? Yes, we can sell that product to different community to encourage them to come and learn about us from our artwork and our work, you know what I mean? But we have to tell our story. So now, if it comes to a story that is written to show diversity or different perspective on a particular event or particular form, of course, we are always open to art with different people. Like Cordo Davis came here when she did the film Fatima. Fatima was a broad film. They had like every race was in the film. So because it was talking about the culture here and how it is for immigrants to come from Africa, how some people struggle here to get a job, and when they get a job, how much what the process they go through, to succeed. So that story was everybody's involved, right? So and I respect what he's saying, and that's a message that we take very, very dear to heart. But just to just address what he's saying, sometimes too we have to understand the fine line between what we want to express as African film or African stories to compare to what the other story. It depends what stories are going to be. So if the story is a modern, modifiable, or a diverse story, yes, you're going to have diverse cast and crew. So
beautiful. Elvis, do you have any action to that?
Yes. First of all, I want to thank Molanjuma for that wonderful contribution. Definitely, there must be criteria. We wouldn't have anybody just come up and be a cover for the magazine. If you go through all 48 editions, you will see that every of our guests have a very solid film background, and either from their background or either from the moment of events when we had them on the magazine. As I said earlier, we had Chini Bright for having won the Écran Noir for her age, having won the Écran Noir Best Actress, so we had to bring her on the magazine. And further, last year we brought up an idea or a project called Woman of the Year and the Man of the Year, which has very strict criteria for who should be the Man of the Year, the Woman of the Year, because we thought not just having guests, we also need to celebrate the man and the woman who over the year has contributed tremendously to the growth and advancement of the industry, who has been a very powerful ambassador of the film industry. And last year we had Stephanie Toom, who came out as the Woman of the Year 2023, because it is given over the past year. If you go through achievements in the year 2023, it was more than tremendous. The things she did, the trophies she won, the engagements she had. I mean, it was no other person comparably did what she did for the film industry in 2023. So we thought she merited to have that award as Woman of the Year 2023. And we didn't have a Man of the Year for some controversies. This year, this March, I think next week, we shall be revealing the Woman of the Year 2024. And in April edition, we'll be having the Man of the Year 2024, which I say the criteria is strict enough we need to be when we elect a Man of the Year, it needs to be something that people will say, yes, this person really definitely merits the trophy.
Beautiful. When you come back, Elvis, we will be running off this edition of Apex Movie Hall on Apex 102. We'll be having your last word and that of Emmanuel as well. But just to announce that Deba Owadie, who is also a journalist, releases his next single on March the 31st this year. That track is titled Happy Birthday. It's already on promotion, which we'll start playing it on Apex One Radio in the next couple of days. He announces that that track will be available on all digital music platforms. So we should start playing it on Apex One Radio anytime from now. Again, Deba already releases his next single on March the 31st. That is in something like 10 days from today. It's titled Happy Birthday. So we are looking forward to that. We'll all discover that track together and see how it looks like. All right, we'll come back to that subsequently on Apex One Radio. So, Emmanuel, so all is set for Minnesota and perhaps Columbus. What is your word of appeal to the publics of these two states as they await the outing of when love happens?
First, I want to thank on behalf of the team for the KK Mesa production, on behalf of Carter Davis and the entire cast and crew of When Love Happens. I want to appreciate the library community here in Columbus, Ohio, for their immense support, for their support for us in every directions. And also our librarian family in Minnesota for the mayor of Minnesota, Mr. Bamakwali, also who is the national president of the Bond County Association in America, and the host of several different personalities. It's difficult to call the names right now. I want to say my Minnesota family, my librarian community, Minnesota place. I want to appreciate you on this journey. This journey is just the beginning here, and we want to appreciate your support, your sharing the flyers, promotion, and the message you are putting out there for us. And also, again, going back to my community here in Columbus, Ohio, my entire immigrant community, my Nigerian family, my Cameroonian family, my Sierra Leone family, my Senegalese family, my family from Kenya, my family from Tanzania, Sierra Leone. I want to say again, thank you so much again for the immense support that you guys are giving us, and we appreciate it. We are grateful for that.
And so in Columbus, Ohio, it will be 777 Kenya Road, Columbus, Ohio 43212. Red carpet 5 p.m. Showtime 7 p.m. What do you mean by showtime? Is it the time the movie will be projected on the widescreen?
Yes. So basically, what happens is that the red carpet starts at 5 p.m. Right.
Okay.
You see, some people got the VIP tickets, so we have a lounge. The VIP lounge going to be upstairs for our special VIP. You're going to be up there with the cast and crews. We're going to have, again, this is a glamour night, an elegant and glamorous night. So you're going to have all these ladies walking there with a beautiful dress. The guys going to be in their tux in the beautiful outfits. So they're going to be up there hanging out. We're going to have champagne. We're going to have wine. We're going to have some food, we're also going to have some gift bags for our VIP personnel. Our sponsors are going to also have some gift bags. And then it's also going to be an opportunity to network, right? Because the VIP section going to be a host of business owners, the host of film producers, different marketing professionals. So you can go up there and then also interact with the producers herself, the director herself, Carter Davis, and her team.
Mhm.
They're going to be up there so that you can all have some good conversation and create some networking opportunity.
And also remember that you have to support this initiative as well by buying your tickets, $50 for the regular ones, and of course $100 for the VIP tickets. Again, 777 Kenya Road, Columbus, Ohio, 43212. That is April the 5th this year. Meantime, Minnesota will be next week, March the 29th, at Plymouth Grand 15 Cinema, 3400 Vicksburg, Ellen, number 13, Plymouth, Minnesota 55447. So, if you are a film lover from any community, African, Caucasian, wherever you come from, if you love movies, these are places you should be 29th and April the 5th, respectively. Just before we say bye to Emmanuel, let's bring back Elvis. So, Elvis, I know you've not had the opportunity to physically meet the public for maybe an event organized by your magazine. We've seen how magazines have organized awards and things like that. Is that something Between Takes magazine is planning to do sometime down the road?
Oh yes, definitely. That is something we have been thinking about to do sometimes. Maybe in the near future, we'll be seeing how to organize, especially the Man of the Year and Woman of the Year awards, to make it a physical ceremony. But of course, we know all the logistics that will be needed for that, so we need time to prepare to have a really, really wonderful show for such an event. And also, we are looking forward in putting in place a team that could be doing some videos of production, actually doing videos of production going on behind the scenes stuff, having video recording interviews with people around the company, the industry, so we can highlight them on the show. Actually have some mini shows to show what's happening in the industry. Definitely logistics and everything. Those are things we are thinking about, thinking of making the magazine reach a wider audience, creating a website for the magazine, which will be easier for people to connect with the magazine. And all these are in the pipeline. We're seeing how to definitely have them materialize. We're still looking for partners who can accompany us in all these projects. Unfortunately, for now, they are not forthcoming. We have not been receiving, let's say, positive replies, but we are fighting that.
Without letting the cat out of the bag regarding who stars on the cover of the next edition, when is that edition coming out?
It is coming out this week. Before by weekend, it should be out. It is the Woman of the Year edition, so it's going to be a powerful one.
All right. And so to read Between Takes, what do we have to do?
So to read Between Takes magazine, stay focused, stay connected with us, with our community on our Facebook page. When the magazine is released, we make an announcement on the page and we make available the link, which you just have to click and you get to the magazine, you read, and we invite you to drop a comment. And if you can download, you download. Share the link also with your friends and families and even with your enemies, so they can read and have information about what's happening in the convention industry.
Elvis, want to thank you so much for joining us on the program today. We will find time again and continue this conversation, because what you and your team are doing is great. Thanks for the contribution to the growth of the African film movement, and I'm glad that you have met Emmanuel today. And both of you will connect after this show to continue the movement. Emmanuel, thank you so much as well for
thank you, Ernest. So let me just seize the opportunity to say thank you to all our followers, all our Facebook community, everybody who has contributed one way or the other in sharing our posts, liking, and however you you have contributed. We want to say tremendous thank you for us. It is because of you that we are keeping up to 48 editions and still want to do more. We invite you to keep promoting, to keep sharing, to keep liking and inviting people. Build a community, interact with us. We are there to respond to you. Thank you, Ernest. Thank you, Apex One Radio, for having us on this edition of your show. And shout out to our Liberian brother, Mr. Emmanuel. We know what it is to organize a film event, and we wish you all the best in your film premieres that you are looking forward to.
Beautiful. Emmanuel, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Again, I want to appreciate you before we go. I want to appreciate you, my brother. Keep doing what you're doing. We are all in this together. You know, collectively we can move mountains.
All right.
Thank you.
With that, we come to the end of this edition of Apex Movie Hall on Apex One Radio, during which time we had a fantastic conversation with Emmanuel and Elvis, both of whom are doing great to promote the African film movement. Marcel Adig was a producer of this edition of Apex Movie Hall. My name is Ernest Kanjo. Do have a fantastic rest of the weekend. Bye for now.
Thank you.
Thank you.